college, I started working at a top 5 New York law firm. I lasted for a year. What's up guys, in today's video I'll be talking about how I made the switch from working at a law firm to working at a startup and what lessons I learned while making that switch. In February 2017, I got my first legal internship. What I really wanted to understand was which career path was right for me. At the time I was exploring finance and consulting and felt like there was something else out there that would be a better fit for me. Tech at the time wasn't really something I was exploring because it seemed very far removed from what I was studying at the time, which was economics. And I decided that instead of finance and consulting, maybe corporate law would be something that would be a better fit for me. After all, I liked writing, I liked giving reasoned arguments, and I like reading a lot. So law seemed like a natural fit for me. Fast forward 3 months, I got my first job at a top corporate law firm in New York, and I was fortunate enough to start there with many very talented colleagues as well as lawyers, but I soon felt like it wasn't the best fit for me. I was always the kind of person who would want to build things. In fact, even while working at the law firm, I was trying to recruit a developer to help build a legal tech side project on the side with me. So I always had this tendency to try to build things, and I really wanted to explore that desire to build things in my workplace, and I felt like corporate law just didn't give me the leeway to do that, which is why I decided after around 6 months at my corporate law firm to start looking for jobs. The first jobs I came across were mostly finance and consulting jobs, and I applied to those and I felt like they were all right to start with. I got interviews here and there, but I just felt a bit reluctant to go back into finance and consulting since there were problems with those fields that I couldn't really address. I just felt like there were problems that I couldn't overcome. So instead, I decided to go for tech. And I felt like tech could be a place where I could build things. I mean, after all, that's where all the builders are, right? That's where all the software engineers, where all the product managers are. So I applied for a job in tech. I applied for many different jobs in product management and operations, and I didn't get anything. I didn't qualify for any of the jobs. So I cheated. I applied for legal jobs at different tech startups, and I was fortunate enough to land a job at a blockchain startup, a startup that was based in a loft in Brooklyn, which is actually kind of a weird place to have an office. That was really how the transition happened. I just kept applying and applying and applying, and I tried to find jobs that could leverage the skills I already had, and I lucked out. I managed to break into the startup field by leveraging my legal skills. After 8 months at that job, I switched into the job I have now. So after that lengthy story, I'd like to share 3 lessons that I think you guys might be able to get out of my story that I'd like to share. And the first lesson is don't be afraid to take risks. Don't be afraid to try something new. And that was something I did after feeling like law wasn't the best fit for me. I tried something new. I felt like I had nothing to lose at that point. I was still pretty young, pretty early in my career, and I still am pretty early in my career. When you're 2-3 years into your career, you really have nothing to lose by making a change. So don't be afraid to make a change. Just go for it, try, see what you get, and if you think that opportunity will play out better for you than your current career trajectory, by all means go for it. My second lesson is don't be afraid to pick up new skills. You don't have to go to school to pick up new skills. You don't have to go to some fancy course or some fancy boot camp. You can go learn those skills on your own by building something and practicing skills that you think would come in handy for whatever you're trying to prepare for. For example, I wanted to get into product management, so I decided to build a product on the side with a developer I recruited on LinkedIn. So that goes to show that there's so many different ways you can go about building projects, and that's really the best way to learn new skills. So don't be afraid to pick up new skills. And my third lesson is if something doesn't feel right and there are other options out there, don't be afraid to explore those other options. Don't box yourself into one option. Understand that there's so many other different options out there for your career. Those are the 3 lessons that I learned from switching from working at a law firm to working at a startup. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.